You're on fire today.
Sitting here in the dark, I realized I didn't turn the lights on.
The Podgram with Tom and Christie.
It's sad that this is the world that we live in.
Here, let me stop and tie my shoe right in front of you so you can't drive.
The Podgram.
All of a sudden, I hear...
Well, I don't really care.
Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
You bust your ass.
Yeah.
The Podgram with Tom and Christie starts now.
Well, good morning. It is Friday. Wow, it seems like it's been kind of a long week, even though we haven't really been here and done really a whole lot because, well, I don't know. I have no excuse, but lots of reasons anyway, in any case. Mostly because we've done 2 shows this week. Let's say hi to Christie Bush right now.
Well, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
Digging the sundress thing? That's cool. That's cool.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. How'd you know it was a dress?
Well, I mean, I'm married. My wife has clothes.
This is true. Your wife does have clothes.
She has clothes, yeah. So I can just see the shoulders of the thing and know that it's a sundress. It just says sundress to me.
It is.
Yeah. So how are you? You been gardening this morning, have you?
Good. No, nothing. It's kind of a little icky, iffy this morning.
Iffy this morning. All right. Well, good enough, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get over to the Hate Book Live thing, and come on. Yeah, it's another one of those days that things have started off not working exactly right, the way that I had envisioned that they would.
A little bit.
Yeah. Because first, we couldn't hear each other.
That's true.
Well, first I
couldn't sign into Facebook.
Yeah.
Or sign into
well, even before that,
Skype.
Even before that, I was running behind because I had spent the night with 2 bed hogs last night. You know, two bed hogs. Steve being one of them, and then Melanie is doing this thing because I guess the mattress is uncomfortable for her right now. And so she wants to lay across the bed. And so while I'm wrestling with Steve to get him scooted over at like 3:30 in the morning because his toenails are digging into my back, I'm wrestling to get him moved over a little bit. And then I feel a pillow drop on my legs. And then she lays on the pillow. It's like, okay, all right. You know, so there I am laying there wide awake, vaping, you know, anyway.
I get you.
So that was that.
See, I have this big, long body pillow that I keep in the bed.
Yeah.
And it used to be when I initially bought it, or I bought one, I've replaced it since, but I initially bought it to keep my son from beating the ever-living crap out of my daughter in utero.
Yeah.
Because he's been doing it for a long time. I mean, she's 10, and he's been doing it since before she popped out.
Yeah.
Because I would go to take a nap with him, and he would kick and like roll and kick and roll. And the pillow was there so that it would protect belly.
Yeah.
You know, and then I could hike my knee up on it and I was more comfortable because, you know, the farther into pregnancy you get, the more uncomfortable you get.
Sure.
And then it just kind of got so comfortable that it just never left.
Yeah.
Much to Phil's chagrin.
Yeah.
You know, then it became like the anti-intimacy barrier.
Yeah. Tammy Smith Alessante Belgrande is hanging out with us. Good morning. She's playing the show at the doctor's, so that's sure to offend somebody.
Yay.
Yes.
Well, she hasn't. She's an earbud, I think. So.
Yeah. Tammy Smith Alessante. Los Pollos Hermanos. I don't know why I go into that mode. I love you anyway.
I saw the commercial for Better Call Saul last night.
Oh, is it coming back out again?
Yes.
Yeah. See, now it'll be a year before we see it on Netflix. Because this is weird. I'm gonna rant for just a minute.
A quick minute, yes.
A quick minute, because there's things to do. TV, when I was a kid, a season was 23 episodes or 24 episodes. Mm-hmm. And that would take half the year to play them, right? Take 6 months, and then the other 6 months they would play them as rewind, as reruns, right? Mm-hmm. No earbuds either, so we're blasting loud at the doctor's joint. Yep.
Loud and proud, baby.
Yeah,
Woo!
baby. Yeah. Woo! All right, so see if we have music for that. Just never mind. Anyway. So, all right, but now a season is like 11 or 12 episodes. And it's like you start watching it in the fall, and before Thanksgiving, it's over. It's done.
I know.
And then he's
and now they have mid-fall. They have like the midwinter.
Oh yeah, they'll take those 11 episodes and break them up and play them 6 months apart. So you get 4 or 5 episodes at a time. It's like, man, by the time it comes back out again, you don't even remember what the hell you watched.
See,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I almost kind of prefer it the way that they're doing it.
Yeah.
Because then instead of going like this big long stretch of time without my junkiness, I get like, they feed it to me in like little crack bits. Like they leave me little breadcrumbs to keep me addicted. Well, it's like my version of Candy Crush.
Yeah. Well, you see, to have a TV show now, I guess apparently you don't have to be very creative. All you have to do is come up with 11 ideas a year.
Yeah, you have to be able to humiliate yourself or continuously write new stuff.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, well, that, the show got canceled and, I wonder why there's only, 11 episodes. We got your person on the phone here. We'll get to that in just a minute. We'll say hi, and then I got a video I want to do. So you go ahead and greet your friend here.
Well, good morning, Ron.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good. My first time on your podcast. I'm so excited.
Well, we certainly hope it won't be the last time.
He's totally lying. He is so tired he can't stand it, but he's doing this for me, which is so sweet.
I was up all night writing. Then I woke up for just a minute to go to the bathroom, and my phone started just blowing up, and there's all this stuff happening tonight in Westmoreland, and so it's been a crazy morning.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not kidding about blowing up. I'm over here, and it's blinking.
Well, it's funny. It's funny because when he said my phone started blowing up, I thought, oh, Christie calls you too.
Well, if some people would get up and stay up.
Well, if my son wouldn't have his feet in my back all night long and shoving me out of my own bed.
Well, if some people would get up and stay awake.
Hey, listen.
I would have to blow up your phone.
Hey, listen. You act like that's the only time you blow my phone up.
Who hosts back to me?
I need you to blow my phone up in the morning to wake me up because,
See, but see, this is why you pay me.
I haven't even paid you any yarn. I got to do something. By the way,
your check's late.
I know. My check to everybody's
late. So meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yeah.
So
get back to Ron here because he called us up and he's hanging out with us.
He gets this poor man. So Jason Robinson, who is a local young man who is entering into, I believe, the 10th grade now. 9th grade, 10th grade?
I don't know. He's 15, so I would say probably 10th, yeah.
Yeah, right around there. Anyway, so he's a Westmoreland native, and he is a phenomenal kid, really phenomenal kid. He is representing the United States in the International Wheelchair and Amputee Sports, which is IWAS, Youth World Games. And they were held over the past 4 days in Ireland. Oh, I would give anything to go to Ireland. But anyway, he competed in the 100, 200, 400, 800 meter and 1500 meter races, of which he brought home, are you ready for this? 4 bronze and 1 silver medal.
Oh, very good. Very good.
This
that's pretty good. Yeah.
He's so talented. He was the first, he was one of the first kids to compete in a wheelchair and complete the Boilermaker.
Oh, that's very cool.
Super intense race. And he didn't do it as a youth. I mean, he did like the big Mama Jamma race.
Yeah.
He didn't do the little kiddie fun race. He did the big one. and he was featured on the news. But anyways, so
well, he should be. He should be.
So I'll let Ron do a little bit of what we're doing tonight, because we're coming out as a community tonight and we're going to represent.
Oh, I was kind of wondering if Ron was going to have a chance to say something about it, or if you were just going to.
But that's what he did. That's what he did before. Now this is what we're doing forward.
Now, don't fall asleep, Ron. She'll call you. She ain't afraid to.
Right.
She ain't afraid. I'm going to be in so much trouble after the cameras go off today. But I like.
Well, it sounds nice what we're doing tonight. It sounds like a bunch of people have organized to greet him and his family as he comes off the throughway. We're all supposed to line the streets from the throughway exit down to the high school and cheer him on and give him like a hero's welcome back to town, and such a nice Westmoreland kind of a thing. So but it's so nice this is happening, and I was happy to have my phone go off in the morning with this news, and going to be there to get some pictures and write up a story on it.
It's always nice when the phone goes off and it's good news, though, isn't it?
Ron is like our unofficial mayor of Westmoreland.
Oh, I see.
I mean, if it's happening or it's doing, Ron is in the center of it.
Yep.
And it's so amazing. He writes a column for one of the little local newspapers that is in the Clinton, Westmoreland, New Hartford area. And it's hashtag Be More Westmo. And he does a great job. And I'm super proud that I get to be in the same circle with him.
Now you're gonna add that. You're gonna put that up on the website.
Thank you. I'm very proud to be in your circle too. So thank you.
Yeah. We'll give Ron some ink on the website so we can get people over there.
You should see the two of us when we get together at Steve and Patty's house. Steve
and Patty, they're party animals. I mean, how can you not let loose over there?
No idea. But you should see the two of us when we get together. Nobody else gets a word in edgewise. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, the cops come.
We have so many media stories to talk about, to talk shop.
Yeah.
Well, he was like, so I have a column in a newspaper, and I'm sitting there going, do I do it? Do I do it? And Phil's like, well, okay. So at that point, I was like, all right, well, we really should get going. And Steve and Ron had just gotten to the party where we were at, and I was like, do I do it? And Phil was just about to finish his drink. And I went, well, I have a radio show.
I seem to recall hearing about this conversation.
So Phil goes, oh, crap, here we go. And he pops into the beer and sits back. And he's like, we're going to be here a while. This should be interesting.
I've got a little podcast that I participate in. Yeah, we talk about.
We set our phones, and Ron and I start going. He's like, "Oh, I'll friend you," and he's like, "Oh, I'll friend you." And we start, like social mediating each other. That
is so funny, because you know what? We might actually have some listeners if I worked as hard at promoting it as you do. Whatever.
Oh, promotion is everything. It really is.
I know.
But you know what to do? You just have to make it so that that's part of the fun. And then it's all fun.
Yeah.
For me, it is. I'm up tweeting at 4:30 in the morning. So, come on.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. You get up early for this.
Well, I don't. I got up this morning at 8:45. So that's me.
That's not so bad.
I
was up at 4 writing, and then I went to bed. Then I fell asleep for a while. Then I got up to the bathroom, and my phone's like, and I picked up the phone, and it's like, oh my gosh, all this stuff. So I took my little tiny piece of Ambien and a Benadryl. So I got to get a few more hours sleep. So I'll be up and ready to do this tonight.
Is everybody up there on Ambien and NyQuil? What is the deal?
I don't know. Maybe it's a Westmoreland thing.
I don't know.
I sure like it.
Well, when I lived in Rome, I didn't get any Ambien or any of that. So
for some reason last night, I got this crazy notion that I had to put on a sleep mask last night.
I see.
Andy got one with this little travel pillow that she got, and I went, this ought to be fun.
A sleep mask and a travel pillow?
Yeah.
That sounds like something you get for opening a credit card.
I was going to say, yeah.
So I stick this thing on, and I'm ready to go to bed. And like 3 a.m, I'm fighting with it. I'm like, how the hell did I get this stupid? Oh. So I said to Phil this morning, I'm like, do not ever let me put a sleep mask on again. He goes, oh, I should go on the show this morning and talk about this. Because I fought with you.
You're lucky you don't have to use a CPAP if the sleep mask bothers you. My gosh.
He's like, I fought with you for 3.5 minutes last night.
I'm really missing the boat here. Ambien, CPAPs, sleep masks. I need all that crap.
He's like, kept trying to get you to take it off, and you were like, no, leave me alone.
I got this for opening a new credit card, and I'm going to use it, damn it.
It's like, I don't even want to fight with you when you're on Ambien.
Well, you know, Ron, there's a couple of days this week that we did not have a show. The 4th was one, and that's for obvious reasons, but there was a couple other days. And the reason we didn't have a show, because I didn't get up at 8:45.
Oh, no.
Not for my lack of blowing up.
Oh, I know. See, I've learned the secret is you put the phone on silent. And so...
Oh, that's not good.
I got the one eyebrow.
It doesn't go off.
I got the one eyebrow.
Yeah.
If her phone's always dead, so you're not going to get her either. My wife is the only person that has a corded cell phone because it's always plugged into the charger. Always.
Always plugged in, yeah.
Yeah. She's got this long extension cord that she drags around, and she plugs a USB adapter into it. Yeah, just like that. And
always, because my battery's shot.
Well, hers isn't shot. She just never turns it off. And so I pick it up. It's like, burn my hand. I could make eggs on that bad boy. So,
mine's shot.
Yeah.
They do get hot after a while.
They do, especially when you don't put them down. And then the charger's sitting there glowing. He's like, wow. I didn't know that had lights on it. It doesn't. It's just that hot. The
worst thing is when you have your locations on, the battery just drains right down. I hate that.
Yeah.
Well, I've got
the location thing.
Yeah.
And you have to use it with Movie Pass. The Movie Pass. I have Movie Pass. And so I have to turn it on just so that I'm at the theater to get my free ticket. And then, but if you forget to turn it back off, by the time the movie's done, your phone's dead.
Well, that's the idea. They don't want you using it in the movie anyway, so.
Well, I guess they have a plan.
So now, do you know, Ron, do you know Tammy Smith Alsante Belgrande? Do you know her?
What?
Do you know Tammy Smith Alsante? She says hi, anyway.
Well, yeah, I do. Yes, of course. Right. She was the first person to contact me with us this morning.
And he also is friend of Dan O. Williams.
Which we haven't heard from Dan O. lately. What's the deal with him? Where's he hiding out at?
He's around.
All right. Well, we'll get around to him. Robbie McLean also in the room.
I've actually never met him in real life, just on Facebook, but I'd like to because we're both Masons. So
he's a cool dude.
He is.
He's a cool dude.
He's the Masonic brother.
He is. Does he call into your show?
He is a regular. Yes.
He used to call every day. And then
really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder. I'll have to. I have to listen when he's on because I'd like to meet him, but so far I haven't had a chance to yet.
Yeah. Oh, he's funny.
Hilarious.
He is funny. Love when Dano calls up.
Is he really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to meet him. That sounds great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
That sounds great.
And we need, like 30 of Dano and you to call the show, so we have like somebody to talk to all the time.
I have to call him more often too, because I'm usually awake and up and ready this time of day. I'm actually, it's not like me, but sometimes when you get writing, you just keep going and going, and then you get into the groove, and you don't want to fall asleep. And then when you're ready to go to sleep, you're like all woken back up, 4 o'clock in the morning. So.
Yeah.
Hey, inspiration hits.
Christie Finn is here for the first time in a while. Hi, Christie Finn. She's over on Facebook Live checking us out on the video. Haven't heard from Chris. We said we did a happy birthday thing, but I think you missed it. We did. But we love you anyway.
She's our Remsenite friend.
The big town, the big metropolitan of Remsen.
Yes.
Oh, I'll have to check out your is it YouTube Live or Facebook Live?
Well, we do both. We do YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and we're on TuneIn 24/7.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to check that out. Right now, I gotta go to bed because my little piece of ambience kicking in.
you
But,
enjoy,
Christie,
and I will
guess
see you in
I'll
a couple of hours.
Yeah,
But I'll see you later tonight. I mean, probably depends where we're like standing along the route, but I'll be looking for you.
Well, I will connect with you, and I will make sure that I am standing near you.
that is awesome.
That sounds great.
Ron, thanks for being part of the show this morning.
About 7 o'clock. Thanks for having me, guys.
Anytime.
I'll call again soon.
Please do. We'd love to hear from you. All right, man. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
You too.
You too.
Bye-bye. Well, Ron sounds like he's kind of fun. Oh, I got called babes. I got called babes from Chrissy Finn. Not home at the moment. It doesn't matter if you're home. You're still
No,
you're still chatting with us.
she
That's all
is
that matters.
on vacation, a much needed vacation.
Yes, that's awesome.
She is in Chi-Town,
Where's that?
Chicago.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm still sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still sleeping. What are you going to do?
The Podgram with Tom and Christie. Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
20 minutes past right now on the Podgram. We're live over on Facebook and on YouTube Live, and always live on, well, we're always on TuneIn. We're live when we're live, and when we're not, there's just old stuff that you probably...
See, I don't understand how you can call it hateful.
Do you? Okay, I'm going to tell you, because this is a great segue into the next thing that I have, into why I call it hate book. Because truly,
I think it's all about perspective. Because I mean, like my Facebook, it's like I eradicated the people who do nothing but bitch 24/7.
I wouldn't have any friends.
I know that, but I mean, I got rid of all of the haters. Like, see, there's this new feature over on the side where you can snooze people.
Yeah.
And my thing is, if I have to snooze you more than 3 times for being a hate booker, you're off my feet.
But the thing is, I'm not necessarily now. The people aren't necessarily haters, but the video that I'm going to show in a minute is just hate. It is.
And Ron is going to come back on, I'm hoping maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, depending on when I can work it in, to the programming.
Yes.
You know, because I do kind of plan this stuff out, even though it doesn't really look like it.
The best laid plans just fall apart right at the last second. Let me tell you.
They do.
But go ahead.
Ron's going to call, and we are going to talk about profanity on the internet and like some vulgarity and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, I was talking to Mel. Who else was I talking to? I was talking to...
You don't get out much. It can't be that big.
I know. It was Jeff Goen. I was talking to Jeff. We were talking about, and I said, man, you need to be, because he's funny.
He's hilarious.
He is funny. I love him.
Our little chat in the car.
Oh, I know.
Sunday.
Funny. The cool part about him is that he just, it's almost like he didn't even have time to process what you say to him, but he's already answering you with some off the wall. He's just funny. Let me tell you, Christie's looking for headphones. He's the
version of me.
Yeah, and so, but here on like steroids, and so, and I've told him many times, dude, look, why don't you come on the show more? Let's do it.
He said he was going to call.
Well, he says, and he calls me Tommy because, and those who call me Tommy are those who have known me since I was little. Or who are family friends with my family. He says, and it's funny because it doesn't sound weird when they say it, but if like Mel called me Tommy, it'd be like, what's wrong with you?
There's only like 5 people on the planet who have permission.
It doesn't offend me. I don't care.
Call me Chris. And 3 of them are dead.
What?
Okay.
I was thinking I might be one of 5, but it looks like my odds are getting slimmer as time goes by. Of course, I would never call you that. So,
but see, my husband doesn't call me Chris.
Yeah.
No, my brother calls me Chris. My mom, my dad, my aunt Skeets called me Chris, and like maybe one or two other people. So maybe there's more than 5. But
yeah,
I can count them on less than 2 hands.
Yeah.
But it's like a moniker of like you said, it's like Tommy. It's something that only people who've known me since I was a baby have ever done.
Yeah.
Like when the phone used to ring when we were in Oklahoma and people would call and ask for Andy.
Yes.
Who?
Yeah.
Because when we moved there in 1980, my dad hated the name Andy.
Yeah.
He hated it. His name was Andrew.
Yeah.
And when we moved, he just decided, you know what? I'm making a break. I'm gonna have people call me Drew.
Yeah.
And it was so hard for my mom at first because Drew. Well, I mean, she knew how much he liked Drew, but
yeah,
you know, Drew, really?
Yeah.
So when people would call and ask for Andy, we instantly knew, oh, it must be a New York friend.
Yeah. 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 So I told Jeff, I said, man, you need to come on the show because he's and he has a great perspective on things too. He's a little Brian Burns, Rowdy Burns, hanging out with us in the Facebook Live chat over there. Christie Finn hates being called Chris. No, I get it. I don't hate being called Tommy.
You want to get a shoe thrown at you? Call her Christiane.
I might like that. Anyway, so we got this. So we got this video that's circulating around the hate book this morning. I'm going to shift gears. Jeff said, Tommy, you don't want me on the show because once I get started, I'll say things I can't take back. And
that's what we count on,
right? And I'm thinking that's really kind of what I wanted out of that. But let's switch over here to this. Let me set the video up here. It's been viewed almost 3 million times. But it's this dude. It's like in a fast food restaurant. It's at Los Pollos Hermanos El Sante. That's where it's at. Anyway, it's this guy. Oh, so it must be Whataburger because I see the cup on the table.
Oh, I miss Whataburger.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah. Anyway, so this dude walks in who obviously opposes President Trump, and is offended by this 16-year-old white kid's hat that says "Make America Great Again." And I'm just going to leave it there. And we're going to switch over to the video, and you watch. And this is what I saw on Hate Book this morning.
Supporting the president. You ain't supporting shit. You ain't supporting shit.
Okay.
It's gonna go great in my fireplace.
Alright, have fun with it.
Now, had that been the other way around?
Holy crap.
Yes. Had that been the other way around, everybody would have already seen that. Not just 3 million people, but everybody would have seen that. And there would have been talk about stringing the kid up and hanging him and burning him at the stake.
They would have hunted him down.
They would have hunted him down like a dog. But this bully gets to walk into a restaurant, snatch a hat off a kid's head, take his own drink and dump it in his face, and walk away cussing him. Now, what I need to see is the video from after that where he walks outside and, somebody shoots him in the face. That's the video I'm missing. That's the part I'm missing.
Now, had that same situation occurred and it not been about President Trump, had the same situation happened and it been a gay situation where the gentleman who took the hat was being, disrespectful towards him, being homosexual or being transgendered, Robin Meade would be sitting there right now in the 9 o'clock hour discussing how he's being hunted down and being tried right now.
Yeah. Robbie McLean, my buddy over on Facebook in the chat room, says he would totally be in cuffs. And let me tell you something about Robbie. You don't want to be on his bad side. I remember we were in the fire department together. Robbie's a big boy. His neck is like the size of my torso. He wears, what is it, Robbie? It's like size 17 or 18. They didn't have boots to fit him at the fire department. They had to special order them. And they had to trace his feet on a piece of poster board and send it to the boot manufacturer. And they had to make a mold of a pair of boots to fit Robbie.
His leftovers became the little woman who lived in his shoes condo.
Well, yeah, because it's funny because he doesn't know this, but he's going to find out because he's listening now. But after he was gone and his boots were still around, first of all, those are the boots 16.4E. That's the size shoes he wears. 16.4E.
Goodness.
You know, you could ride his flip-flop like a float in the pool.
That's like a bra size.
And, you know, have you ever been into a shoe store and you see the promotional flip-flop that's like 1.5 feet long? That's his shoes.
Oh, God.
You walk up on his front porch and his shoes are, you got to walk over him to get, because it's, you know. Anyway, yeah, people walk up to rob his house like, you see them shoes? I ain't going in there. Anyway, and I used to think, man, I'd hate to meet him under bad circumstances in a dark alley. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, he says he's 6 feet, so he's not overly tall, and 380 pounds. Oh, you've lost weight, because I think you were more than that before. 380, 6 feet, and this dude is built like out of rocks. I mean, I gotta tell the story. This is somebody who.
But wait, but first.
Well, I just played that, but I'll do it again.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'll do it again.
The Podgram with Tom and Christie. Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
It's 9:31 here on the Podgram Live. We are, it's funny because even if you listen back to it later, I'm still going to say the Podgram Live, even though it'll be pre-recorded. But, you know, it just kind of is what it is, yeah. So it's 9:31, halfway through the show this morning. We've talked to Ron, we've looked at some hate book video, and now we're talking about Big Robbie and his size 16 quadruple E firefighter boots. That now, those are the ones they use on the Fill the Boot campaign. Because they figure if they can fill Robbie's boot with money and change and donations, they'll never have to collect anything again. Just one time.
They just buy a truck with that.
I know. And it's funny because the other firefighters, they'll slip the boot over their head because his calf is that big. I'm not trying to make fun, because he's badass. I love Robbie.
They're celebrating his awesomeness.
And there's 2 of those boots.
And had The Rock not already claimed it, that would be his moniker.
Yeah. So when I first joined the department, we had this chief. I'm not going to say much about this chief other than that he was missing some of his rocks, and he was a very small gentleman, and he had sort of a I mean, he was well built for his size, but he was a very small gentleman, and he had, I guess, maybe a complex about being a small gentleman.
As they so often do.
I know. Banty Rooster syndrome, I think, is what my ex used to call that. Banty Rooster syndrome.
Napoleon syndrome.
Oh, I want to sidestep. You were talking about if this had been a gay, blah, blah, blah. I got to be the big gay bestie to my wife last night, and I was painting.
You did?
Yeah, I was painting her toenails as she fell asleep. And when she falls asleep, she starts kicking like a mule. So her feet this morning look like they just came out of a meat grinder. Looks like she's been walking on razors. What happened? Oh my God, what happened to your feet? I can't believe you can still walk. No, it was my husband painted my toes last night. And I actually was doing pretty well, not getting it all over her toes. And then she started that. She goes, oh, I need a muscle relaxer. I'm like, yeah, I think we need to finish this another time. Anyway, so the chief decided that he was going to play tug of war as part of our fire training at Town Hall, which Town Hall is a building in our town about the size of one of those sheds you can buy at the Shed Depot. You know, they bring it on a truck, you know, that's our Town Hall. They got a shed with a sign out front. Anyway.
Awesome.
So there's these trees, you know, they're probably 25, 30 feet tall. They're probably, I don't know, what would you say, Robbie? They're probably 6 inches thick from, you know, one to this. So they're probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 inches in diameter. Anyway, so the chief decided to tie his end of the rope to the tree on his side. And then he tied a slip knot and put his hand through it. And then all the other firefighters joined. And then Big Robbie was the tail on the other end of the tug of war rope. And as soon as word was given to go, Robbie put it down in granny low and just started walking away with the tug of war rope. The tree that it was tied to, leaves were coming off.
Oh, my Lord.
And the chief's fingers were in the slip knot. And I think when it was all said and done, they ended up having to cut the rope off of him, cut the glove off of him, and I think Robbie had successfully melded 2 of his fingers into one.
Oh, goodness.
So, and here we are. What has it been, Robbie, 15 years ago? And we're still talking. I talk about it with Edgel. That still comes up all the time. Yeah, remember that time we played tug of war? And, yes, I do.
We've made reference to it a couple of times here. But I don't think you've ever told the whole story.
No, that's one of those things. And I remember, because I wasn't on the rope. When I joined the fire department, I was in a wheelchair. And this is right after I joined up. And so you ask yourself, well, what, wheelchair? Why the hell would you join the fire department in a wheelchair? It's what every good crip does. Every good cripple joins the fire department. Sorry. So I had just joined the fire department, and I was watching from the sidelines, and I saw Robbie all but uprooted this tree. It was bending over like it was in, a hurricane on the beach. You know what I'm saying? How the palm trees, Sorry. Yeah. And so I wasn't even giving but by the time it was over, there wasn't a single leaf left on the tree. They were all on the ground.
Really?
Right there with the chief. Yeah. He was on the ground too. Get it off. Get it off me.
Even better.
I would definitely not say his name now, because if he hears it, he'll be mad.
Oh.
It ain't like he can kick me out of the department. He's not even the chief. Well, he got ousted for being the chief. And anyway, that's a whole other story for another time. But anyway, that was good times there. And there's several fire department stories like that one. Stuff goes on at these fire stations and people don't know about. It's fun. You get a bunch of guys together and they do, hey, y'all, watch this. There's a lot of that kind of stuff that happens. Hold my beer. So I remember one time we got a fire call for what they call a deer strike, meaning a vehicle versus a deer. And it wasn't for our department. It was for a neighboring community's department. So two of our guys jumped in the pickup truck and hauled ass over to the scene, grabbed the deer off the road, and came back before their department ever even got to the scene. So we had venison for the next the next business meeting, because we cooked and stuff like that. Yeah.
It was deer that made Phil propose.
All right. Now I'll ask. I'll bite. Sure.
Well, we had been traveling back and forth. It was about a 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
All in told. He was living in Bradford, Pennsylvania, which you have to drive an hour and a half from Bradford into New York, and then that about 2 3/4 hour down the throughway.
That's the home of the Zippo lighter company, by the way.
Yes,
Bradford,
it is.
PA, yeah.
And any Zippo you have, no matter how mangled, how destroyed, you send it to them, they'll fix it, and they'll fix it and send it back. They will.
I tried once to send one back.
They have a museum of mangled ones.
Yes, I tried to send one back one time, and the post office destroyed it even worse.
Yeah.
And it came back to me, and that's been, 20 years ago. This is what kind of a hoarder I am. I've been really digging into this minimalist lifestyle thing, and I think maybe
you're sidetracking me.
I am. We'll get back to Phil in a minute. Phil and the deer in Bradford, Pennsylvania. But I got to sidetrack you. Hey, it's content. Mm-hmm. It's content.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I'm getting this minimalist lifestyle thing because I have too much stuff. And as an example, I have a Zippo lighter that I attempted to send back to Zippo to be fixed 20 years ago. And it came back in the mail because their machine mangled it. And I just never really resent it. And it's still in a drawer. It's still in a drawer in the kitchen. And it's not even the same kitchen drawer because I've moved like 6 times since then. Yeah. I'm still toting that broken-ass Zippo around. There's some things I just need to get rid of. Anyway, so Phil and the deer and Bradford, Pennsylvania going into New York. Go ahead, pick up where you left off. Yep.
So it's about 2 3/4 hours drive home from there. But the nice part is his mom and dad's house was the stop between Bradford. So he would drop off his laundry. They would do his laundry.
Yeah.
Right. And then I would drive home.
Yeah.
So I was on my way home It's the end of a long weekend. He had just moved, mind you, all of my furniture into his house.
Sweet.
We hadn't been dating very long.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Like 2.5 months, 2 months.
Oh, I see.
Maybe.
I see.
And I had moved all of my furniture. I didn't move in with him, but I let him borrow all of my furniture.
Yes.
Because the poor kid had nothing but a road cone, a full-size bed, and a TV.
Yeah. And a wire spool for a table.
That not even a wire spool. He had a road cone, which he was so proud of.
Uh-huh.
A bed and a TV.
Sweet.
So I am driving in a one-wheel drive Ford pickup truck.
Yeah.
You know, the kind where you do this with the wheel for about a half an hour and then it turns.
Yeah.
We call it no, it was a Dodge. It wasn't a Ford. We call it the Dodge BAFT, which stands for big ass freaking truck.
That's funny.
Loved it. So we moved and I'm driving home in this truck and I am 99% of the way home.
Yeah.
There is a sign that says rest stop 1 mile.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, out of my peripheral vision, bam, I hit this deer. I hit this deer so hard at like almost 80 miles an hour that it split in half.
That it landed in the bed of the truck, cut up into steaks already.
Half of it landed in the bed of the truck, bounced out.
Yeah.
Half of it went rolling.
Yeah.
It was so disgusting.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm doing the girl thing, and I'm going, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. Turn down the radio because, of course, the radio was blaring.
Yeah.
Pull over to the side of the road. I instantly start crying.
Yeah.
I sat there for like 5 minutes trying to compose myself.
Yeah.
Drive forward at like 15 miles per hour with the four-ways on the last mile.
Yeah. Dragging deer body parts behind you.
There's like blood dripping out of the back of the truck. I'm looking like I'm looking like I just escaped like some scene of a serial killing right now.
Chrissy posted, and I didn't understand this until you told the story, but as soon as you started telling the story, she typed BAFT, you know, in the thing. And then Robbie says, Old Red fits that moniker. It's kind of like your old truck. Now, the problem with Old Red is that Old Red is like a 17 model Dodge truck. There ain't nothing old about it. Now, my old blue, now on the other hand, 3/4 ton big block Allison transmission, big tires, rock.
Chrissy rode in the BAFT.
The BAFT.
Quite a bit.
That's too funny.
Because I sold my car and I drove the BAFT for a while.
The BAFT truck.
It was like the loner. Hated that truck. But anyway, so I get to Thruway Plaza and I go to hand her my money. And I'm like, she goes, honey, are you okay? I'm like, here's my money.
What, did you kill somebody? We got to call the cops? What the hell happened back here?
Do you need help? Can you make it home? I'm like, I don't live far from here. I think I'm okay. Because I can't breathe, right? I'm like hyperventilating.
Yeah.
Right. I get home, and the funny thing is that my dad, says, knock, knock, roll down the window. Because Phil and I had driven the truck up there with all my furniture in it.
Yeah.
And he says, tap, tap, tap on the window. And Phil rolls down the window. He goes, do me a favor. He's like, what? He goes, bash the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And Phil's like, what? He goes, I want a new truck. He goes, bash the crap out of it.
Yeah.
So the worst part of it is that I go upstairs and I'm all upset. My mom's like, what did you do?
Yeah.
I didn't do enough damage to hurt it because it is a BAFT. All I did was damage the radiator and the grill.
Yeah.
It came to less than $750 just the damage, which was the deductible.
Right.
So we didn't even meet the deductible.
Yes, and then when they put the new parts on it, it was bigger and better than ever at that point.
The Podgram with Tom and Christie.
They're still at it.
I'm walking two people talk about nothing.
Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
Quarter till right here on the Podgram. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. You can catch us on TuneIn. Also, if you go to our website at thepodgram.com, we have a link to iTunes where you can go check out the latest 10 episodes of the program over there. And you can also get, there's links for your particular device if you have like an iPhone or an Android or not a BlackBerry. There's no link for that. Who still uses the BlackBerry?
Nobody.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Anyway, there's links for all that stuff over there on the website. You can listen to us on TuneIn. You can listen to us daily when I don't oversleep on Facebook and YouTube Live as well. We've got a YouTube channel, so please do go over and subscribe because more subscribers equals more love, and everybody knows that. So we're talking now. We're burning biscuits at this point to get to 10.
I walk in the house. You know, which, by the way, I had to pay the deductible. I was not happy about that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So I go upstairs, and meanwhile, Phil has been calling the house because normally he knows about when I get home. So he's calling the house. My mom's like, she's not home yet. She's not home yet.
Yeah.
You know, like, stop calling already.
Yeah. Beat it, bud. Yeah.
So I get upstairs. I answer the phone, and he's like, what do you mean you hit a deer? And he doesn't say... Are you okay?
I hit a deer in the zoo.
Oh,
Zookeeper was
honey.
pissed.
Yeah, none of that. He doesn't say any of that. What does he say? Did you pick it up?
Of course.
Yes, honey. I got out of the car in all of my femininity, and I picked up a 1,000-pound beast.
Wrestled it in the... Well, half of it's in the back of the truck.
Threw it in the bed of the truck. I just huffed it on up there.
Right now I'm field stripping it.
Oh, baby, we're going to have us some steak tonight.
Some sausage gravy. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you pick it up?
See,
what kind of crap is that?
See, I like Phil more and more each and every day. I just, I do.
So I said, no, I didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
And then he says, this is the sweetest part ever. He's like, why are we doing this? And I said, what do you mean? He's like, why are we doing this back and forth every weekend? And I'm like, I don't know.
Let's just
move in.
And he's
like, he goes, why don't we just do it? And I said, do what? He's like, get married. I'm like, huh?
Hey, baby, why don't we just shack up now? You can come on over to my trailer.
We'd only been dating like 2 months at this point. So I'm like, are you saying what I think you're saying? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, you can come do my laundry and bring the deer home.
And I said, what?
That's
are you saying what I think you're saying? He's like, yeah. And I said, no, you need to say it because I don't think you said what I think you said. Yeah. He goes, let's just get married.
See, I met Melanie on the internet.
And we did.
Yeah.
After 87 days.
Yeah.
And that was 18 years ago.
Yeah.
So everybody who said it wouldn't work.
Point at the
it worked.
I'm telling you right now. Haters. I met Melanie on the internet on kiss.com, which I don't believe is there anymore. But in any case, as soon as I met her, I kind of knew. That she was the one. Oh, look, Drew hanging out. Well, it might be his wife. It's Drew Amber Schofield. Come on, man. Drew. He was the town cop in Vass. He was one of the folks that knew me as a firefighter. He's probably wondering why I'm a Facebook friend with him now and who the hell I am, but that's okay. I think he's working. He's copping in Southern Pines or Aberdeen, I think it is. I saw a picture of him and Chris Davis. Hey, I saw a picture of Drew and Jesse Smith together. And Jesse was another one of our firefighters. And he's about 4'3". He joined us as a junior. He was still in high school when he came to the fire department. And he's like 4'3". And he wears a size like 2 shoes or something anyway. And his police uniform, they got it at Toys R Us. And so
not anymore.
I know. They got it at Halloween time. And so anyway, apparently he's done very well at the police department. Now, when I knew him as a fireman, there's 2 stories in one here. When I knew him as a fireman, he used to hang out with us up at like till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning at the fire station after the meetings were over. And we had a good time. We'd hoot and holler and blah, blah, blah. Then he went to BLET. He was going to be a cop. And I'm looking at him thinking, dude, you're not going to be a cop. People will eat you. You can't be a cop, you know. Criminal will put you in his pocket and just take you home and make a pet.
Look how cute you
Look at the
are.
cute little police. And so he did. He went through BLET, and there was
the micro mini.
he started drinking muscle milk. He said he needed to bulk up. Oh, I got to bulk up. I'm going to drink muscle milk. And then like 2 weeks later, he's like, yeah, I'm not drinking that anymore. It just made me fat. But anyway, Fred Ray, look, all my fire department buddies are showing up today. Fred Ray's in there as well. Thank you so much for coming by. So Jesse went through BLET and he got a job down there in Aberdeen. And my experience, now Drew, don't be offended by this, because you and I go further back than that. We go back to Vass, the big metropolitan area, and I still have the hat you gave me, the Chris fire hat. My son tries to take it away from me. Anyway, that department is known as one that doesn't let many people get away with many things. You know, they're like 2 steps meaner than the highway patrol, which is like the meanest organization in the state when it comes along. Anyway, so Jesse actually makes it as a police officer and in Aberdeen, and he's been doing it. Anyway, so he instantly, when he got his job as a police officer, his attitude towards everything changed. Everything. He started looking at even his friends like they were perpetrators. And let me tell you what happened. I was driving. I used to have this big conversion van, and I was driving it. And I had gotten this. My wife renews the tags on the internet, and they mail us the sticker for the tag. And I had the sticker, but the van was something that I didn't normally drive. It sat a lot more than it was ever driven because it got like 12 miles per gallon, kind of like my truck now. It gets 8, and so it doesn't get a lot of road love. The upside is it stays low mileage. So I'm driving, and I get pulled over in a town, 3 towns over from here. And I get a warning ticket for it. And I told him, he ran the tag, and he said, oh, it's valid, but I just forgot to put the sticker on it. Honestly, that's all that happened. He says, well, what I need you to do is take this ticket, put the sticker on it, and take it to any law enforcement officer, and just have him sign off on it and drop it in the mail. All right, cool. I can do that. So I saw Jesse at the fire department like 2 days later, and I said, hey, man, and I told him what happened. I said, can you sign this so I can just drop it? He said, well, let me look and make sure you got your sticker on there.
Aww.
So he goes out to the van, and he's like looking through the windows like he's expecting me to have a meth lab in the back of this conversion van. And he turned into like, yeah, he's like suspicious. He goes home and, looks through his mother's cabinet and says, oh, she got in here that I can bust her for. And so now apparently he's got stripes on his sleeve now with a picture that he and Drew have that I saw on Facebook. So apparently he's been promoted, but I'm thinking to myself, he's still like 4'2". How does that, but he just,
Why am I picturing SpongeBob and the hall monitor?
No, I wish I had a picture. Jesse, he was a great friend though. But when he became, law enforcement, don't call him a cop. I'm law enforcement. I'm a police officer. And Drew's probably sitting there saying, he don't act like that. That's just the perception I get because of the way he acted towards me. But anyway, yeah, so I haven't heard from him, haven't talked to him, haven't seen him. And I have a feeling if I do see him and it's in Aberdeen, it's going to be a bad day because he's going to write me for something. Hey, buddy.
You're going to be cuffed and stuffed.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. How you doing? You know why I pulled you over?
Because I was listening to the show.
Yeah, that's slander to a police officer. I'm going to have to take you in, buddy.
This is when I'm glad I live in New York.
I'm gonna have to write you for having a burnout license plate. Like
The Podgram with Tom and Christie.
They're still at it.
I'm walking, 2 people talk about nothing.
Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
9:53 right now on the Podgram. We got a few minutes left of the program. That's why I drive around Aberdeen now if I have to go somewhere. Now the problem with this is that where I go camping, I kind of have to go through Aberdeen with my camper. Just saw him. Fred Ray just saw him 3 days ago. I have to go through there with my camper. Now, I asked the people at DMV when I registered my BAFT if I needed to have weighted tags on it. And they said, well, what are you doing with it? And I said, well, mostly I'll bring in, crap home from Lowe's or just homeowner stuff. She goes, no, I wouldn't worry about it. I said, but I do tow a camper. She says, well, does the camper have a tag on it? I said, well, yeah, it does. She goes, is it a commercial? No, she says, well, don't worry about it. You're paying road use taxes on the tag for the camper. That's what you pay for with the tag on the camper. However, I do know, or I do feel like, and maybe Drew can tell me whether I'm right or not if he's even still here. I probably made him mad and he went away, which was not my intent. No, he's still here. He's still here. Yeah. Did I just see, Drew, where you just passed an anniversary or a wife had a birthday? Anyway, congratulations in either case. I'm told nobody really cares if you pull a camper and you don't have a weighted tag on your pickup truck. However, I also am getting information that technically you're not supposed to do that. And to test it, all I have to do is drive through Aberdeen. As soon as I get to the city limits, if it's wrong, there will be somebody waiting for me as soon as I get to the gate.
Your picture is going to be like in every cruiser, both of them.
You know why I pulled you over today? No, Jesse, why'd you get me? Anyway, Drew, tell Jesse I said hi, and I'm just picking on the boy. He did change, though. I mean, his attitude towards everything really just kind of changed.
Well, it's not any different than when you go to nursing school or become a doctor. Like, everything changes. You look at everything differently. Once you have medical training, you go to a restaurant, you hear somebody start choking, you go.
Yeah. I can't say that, because when I got into radio.
And then as soon as you hear them breathe again, you go.
Yeah. When I first got into radio, let me tell you this. When I first got into broadcast radio, I really thought that I was the man. I had an ego the size of Texas, and I was the man, and you couldn't tell me any different, and I could not keep a friend. And now Drew says he's never seen a family use weighted tags pulling campers. Have you seen families with a BAFT big ass effing truck, 3/4 ton, big block Allison transmission? Looks like a gang of migrant workers is about to jump out of it and start picking tobacco. Well, that makes me feel any better anyways. But when I first got into radio, I had an ego the size of Texas, and people couldn't get near me.
Wow.
And then I got fired from the daytime AM radio station, and that kind of put me in check a little bit. You know who I am? I play the Carpenters, Ray Conniff singers. I'm Big Steve Kelly. I almost got fired. I almost got fired from a radio station because I went into a store and I was trying to buy cigarettes, and I got carded by the little girl behind the counter, and I pulled, do you know who I am? I'm going to talk smack about you on the air, blah, 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 blah. The next day I was met by my program director at the back door and said, did you try to buy cigarettes last night? And I'm like, oh, shit. No. Nope, wasn't me. Sorry. Well, there's a girl in the lobby, and her boss is out here from the store down the street, and they'd like to meet with you and see if maybe you made some threats about talking bad about them and slandering them on the air and blah, blah, blah. So, I went through a period. So I guess every time somebody gets into a position of, I don't want to say authority because that's not really what it is, but every time somebody gets into a position of, well, and in some cases it is authority. I think radio people of the day just thought they had authority because they had a voice.
Superiority.
Yeah. But we did a great job of burning that hour down, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, it was a good Friday.
It was
casual Friday.
It was Freaky Friday here on the show.
Casual Friday.
We talked to was it Bob or Ron? Ron. I knew it was a 3-letter word. We talked
Ron Klopfenstein is his name.
He keeps showing up as a friend. So now I know. Yes. We talked to him. We killed a deer with our truck in the zoo.
Zookeeper was pissed.
Zookeeper was pissed. We made fun of some friends.
And Phil.
We made fun of your husband. That was a good. That's always a good day when that.
It's like a staple. We have to.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And he texted at 8:30. He's getting better.
He's still waiting. Well, that's our Friday edition, folks. Check us out all weekend on TuneIn. If you don't have TuneIn, get the app on the App Store. Go to our website to find it. You can find that link over on our website, thepodgram.com. So have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next week, Monday, if I don't oversleep. See you later.
The Podgram, copyright 2018, Big Tower Media. So don't be stealing our stuff.